see the so-called change you're talking about that he's proposing doing, other than what we're in right now. Mr. Obama supported the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The housing bubble, subprime mortgages, said everything was fine. When Mr. McCain wanted to strengthen the regulations on it, which was what the Bush administration would have wanted. And had that happened, where would we be right now? A lot better off, right?
Right.
So what kind of change are you proposing?
Well, right
The
now,
change that we're in right now that he supports, which is what we'll look forward to in the future.
I
Is
guess,
more of this. When you say more of the same, you can't say that's the Bush administration's fault when we have a PO-less Democrat.
well, right now, the Bush administration, all bills that go through the Senate and the House, they eventually, Bush is the last person, he has the last word, okay? He is the leader of our country right now. So he probably can't be blamed for all of this, but right now, he is the leader of this country. He is the one that steers this country in what direction it's going in, pretty much. Can we agree on that? Right now, some of the differences between Barack and John are what leads me to believe that change is what he believes in or stands for. We can go with the war, okay? John McCain is in favor of the Iraq, what's going on in Iraq. He's in favor of sending the troops. He was in favor of sending the troops over there. Barack, he wasn't in favor of the war because his thing was, let's go after 9/11. Let's go after the terrorists that caused that destruction. Who in Iraq caused that destruction? It was Bin Laden, right? The Taliban, they reside in Pakistan, Afghanistan.
It's wild that you would actually say that. That sounds like actually something right out of the media. There are reasons for being in Iraq are much more diverse other than our search for Mr. Bin Laden.
But Bush said his main objective though was supposed to be, that was his main objective though. That was the purpose of going to Iraq though.
When the so-called war on terrorism was announced, it was to go after Mr. Bin Laden, which we went to Afghanistan. Our reasons for being in Iraq are furthermore involved than our search for Mr. Bin Laden. You have to remember the crimes against humanity that Mr. Saddam Hussein was charged with and executed for. You can't forget about that. And, but our spending and our being in Iraq right now, is it needless? We are in war, and we have engaged in this warfare. For us to cowardly bow out and leave in the state that it's in right now, that would not look good on the United States of America.
Chime in on that, Tyler.
Well, yes, that's true. I mean, yeah, Bush has got us into something that we can't right now just back out of, with irresponsibility. But the thing is was the war and all these lives that's been, lost, and the cost of the war, was it necessary? Now, if Saddam was, the evil dictator, how many evil dictators, how many crimes, throughout, that's been, how many crimes that's been perpetrated against people throughout humanity? And now America, yes, I guess we're in a position to police the world. But how many dictators is there out there? How many more wars is there to fight? If that's the case, okay. So, which leads me to think and to believe that Bush went after Saddam Hussein as a personal vendetta, and I think that's irresponsibility with so much power and lives, and I, look what it has cost us. Look what it has cost the Iraqis. They're human beings just like us. I mean,
but what would it had cost us had Saddam Hussein stayed in the position where he's in, not complying with UN compliance for search for nuclear warheads, not complying with UN rules?
So as Bush and John McCain believe, why not go? Why not talk? Why try to avoid conversations and peace talks with some of these dictators?
yes.
Why they have to be predetermined conditions as John McCain
It
wants?
seems like there is more to it, and I do think there is more to it than what is being told to the public at large. Mr. Lou Dobbs reported on CNN, in fact, was the only reporter to report about the meeting that took place in the year 2005 with President Bush Fox and Ramirez, being heads of Canada